Welcome back to another unexpectedly random product review. So today we're going to be looking at a new product that I've come across. I found it online. Um, it's a little bit different than a lot of the products we've had before. So you may have seen in the past on some of my videos that I was drinking one of these. It's a Venom Energy. My preferred flavor is Black Mamba. They're 99 cents. It's put out by the Dr. Pepper 7 Up company. And I honestly, of all the energy drinks that I've had, I believe it has 160 milligrams of caffeine for that can. Um, of all the energy drinks I've had, this one has been one that it has a decent taste. It has plenty of caffeine, and it is cheap. I mean, it's as it says there, own it for 99 cents. Super cheap. I was buying them by the case. I think the store has a couple cases waiting for me to pick up. Now, however you feel about energy drinks, that's to each their own. Um, I drink them. I get migraines sometimes, and I utilize the caffeine to handle that with Tylenol or whatever. So that aside, that's not actually what we're talking about today. Um, what we're talking about today is a new product. I think it's new. Um, Honestly, don't know officially when it was released, but it's a product called Kaffn8. It's liquid caffeine. Basically, they take deionized water and they add anhydrous caffeine as well as citric acid, I believe. Yeah. Water, citric acid, sodium benzoate. Basically, the citric acid and the sodium benzoate is to preserve the freshness, which is fine. You see that in a lot of foods or a lot of things. The thing about caffeine, as far as accessible sources of it, the FDA is pretty strict on the regulations of caffeine. They've prohibited the sale of powdered caffeine directly to consumers due to the fact that you can overdose on it very easily, considering the dosage rate for powdered or dry anhydrous caffeine is somewhere in the ballpark of 1/32 of a teaspoon, which is just you can't measure that. So as a result, they've prohibited the sale of it directly to consumers. With this, because it is in solution, this company, which I believe the company is Kaffn8 as well, um, this company is able to provide you with a measuring bottle, which I don't know if we'll be able to get that oriented enough you can see it. But on here, it's actually looks a lot like a chemical measuring bottle, like for cleaning chemicals or that sort of thing. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's food grade, so don't get that mixed up. But the styling is similar, and it has the ounces, which you can't see because it's blurry and not bright enough. It has a quarter ounce marked down here, and then a half ounce marked up here. And then on the back, it carries a listing right in here, if my camera will refocus. The joy of technology. Well, on the back here, it has a listing. It contains 10 milligrams per milliliter of caffeine. So every milliliter of this liquid, this solution, contains 10 milligrams of caffeine. Um, so then it breaks it down. 5 milliliters gives you 50 milligrams. A quarter ounce, which is the lower measurement here, gives you 75 milligrams. Then 10 milliliters is 100 milligrams, and of course, half an ounce, which is twice that, twice a quarter, and that's the upper measurement here, gives you 150 milligrams of caffeine. So effectively, the measurement up to the second mark is near the equivalent of this entire can of caffeine. The one thing to note is it's important to put this into something. Some of the things they recommend were orange juice. which I thought was a little unusual, but I tried it and I was impressed. The orange juice and the sweetness covers the bitterness of this because caffeine itself is naturally bitter. That's part of the reason I assume that things like coffee and tea can have a tendency to be bitter. Plus, they're just also bitter because that's part of the flavoring of it. Um, so there is no sweeteners, no flavorings, no nothing in this. It is just caffeine in water, essentially, with preservatives, which are not harmful. They're fine. So, but to get to the point, in case you can see the level on this right here, I'm at about half a bottle left. I've been drinking this as a replacement to these to see, mostly to test it out to see if it's as effective as the venom. Because generally, I have a can of venom in the morning before I go into work. And the thing with this, I started off, I got to thinking, what am I going to mix this with? Because again, I did sample it, just a drop of it, plain, out of the bottle, and it's not nearly as bitter as I thought it would be. I thought it would be horribly bitter, but it is an unpleasant taste, and it's definitely not recommended to drink this concentrated as it is. Uh, so, looking at things to put this into, I did try. I thought, well, just because I drink Coca Cola as well, I thought I'm just going to step up my can of Coke into an energy drink status by adding the caffeine. I looked at the caffeine content on the Coke and then figured out how much I needed here to bring it up to approximately this same level. And that was not a good decision. Why? It wasn't because of the caffeine content. It made the Coke taste flat and just generally unpleasant. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't something that I was going to enjoy, something that I wanted to drink. So that was a good learning thing. The biggest thing with this is it's going to take some time to learn what tastes good and what mixes well with this. One thing I found that goes well with it, like I said, the orange juice, which was by the company's recommendation, and it was Tropicana orange juice, something I got from the store. But something else that turned out to be really a good mix was just hot brew black tea bags. It was just a generic one from the dollar store, and I brewed it probably a little less strong than I normally would because tea, the longer you brew tea, it gets more bitter. So I wanted to accommodate for the bitterness of this liquid that I was going to add to it. And then just poured in, measured out the half ounce and poured it in. And then I'd take that with me to work. And it was actually pretty effective. One of the things that I was primarily wanting this for was to add to my circle bottle. I have you may have heard of them. It's a basically a water bottle that has flavoring cartridges that you order, and it gives you most of them, if not all of them, are sugar free or artificially sweetened, so it's 0 calorie flavoring. So I was hoping to be able to add this to those because the ones that are caffeinated from that company are not very good. Not necessarily because of the flavor, but because I can't stand things that taste like artificial sugar, sucrose and that stuff, or sucralose. Sorry, it tastes very artificial, and I can't deal with it. And actually, this has some sucralose in it, but it's a small enough volume that I don't notice it so much. So the tea was working pretty well. Um, but I wanted something different. It's kind of a thing. And then the circle bottle, I'm waiting to order another one to be able to actually test it with the other flavors because they have some that are just completely unsweetened, like a lemon flavor, and they've got a handful of others. And so I'm waiting until I can get a separate bottle so I can keep my caffeinated bottle separate from my regular circle bottle. So, but since then, I've been checking out some other things. Today, we're going to be pouring it into and testing it with this brisk iced tea. The thing about this brisk is it's a very sweet tea. It's still only 190 calories for this full bottle, which this is 160 for a 16-ounce can. So you're still overall you're coming out ahead here, if you're looking at calories and things. But it's very sweet, and that's something that I'm thinking will offset the bitterness of the caffeine. Plus, black tea, since it is black tea, it does have caffeine in it, 30 milligrams for the full thing, which will account for in here. We'll probably just do about 10 milliliters instead of 15, just to keep it about the same level. So, as far as my opinion overall, because that's probably really why you're here, the few days I think yeah, I've had it most of the week, I believe. The few days I've been drinking this throughout the week, it seems to be just as effective. Now, a lot of your energy drinks also have taurine and guarana and, I mean, ginseng, different things like that that are additional sources of energy. But as far as just dealing with the caffeine side of things, this seems to be just as effective as an energy drink. So, as far as measuring this, it's pretty straightforward. This unit has a tube that comes down to the bottom of the main reservoir here. When you squeeze this, it has the top of it has two openings. This one over the pour spout, and this one over the main bottle. I've left this one sealed. I'm not entirely sure if that's the intent, but I want to be able to keep pressure inside of here, because when you squeeze this, and you'll see it up there, it rises up that tube and goes into the measuring vessel, and you can see the volume rising there. And that is currently a quarter ounce, and we're going to go about halfway up to the next one so we can sit at what would be the 10 milliliter mark. So and then it's just super simple. Then from there you just pour it into your drink, and then don't forget to put your cap back on your Kaffn8 bottle. And then I usually, because it is a solution and it is in water, I usually try and shake up whatever it is. If it's carbonated that you're putting it into, it's going to be a little more difficult, which may have been why the Coke tasted funny. But I usually try and shake it up pretty well just to make sure that the liquid caffeine gets dissolved, or not dissolved, gets mixed in well. That way I'm not getting, like, if it happens to have a slightly different density and sit on the top, that way I don't get a mouthful of potentially bitter caffeine. It doesn't change the smell at all because it's just water and caffeine. And I can't tell that anything changed. I literally can't. Which the volume's a lot more than what I normally use when I was doing tea. Just the brewed tea, I was using a 16 ounce water bottle, and so it was a little more concentrated. But this has got enough sugar in it. It covers everything really well, and it tastes great. That's the first time I've tried it with the brisk tea. It does seem with the tea, it seems to make it foam a little more, which I'm not sure if that's just because I end up shaking it more than I would normally. But it seems to get this foamy kind of top to it. Not really a big deal, because it still tastes like tea. So that is basically the review of it. I give it 5 stars, honestly, because it's versatile. It is able to, you can basically put it in anything. Realistically, you could probably cook with this. You could make breakfast energy bars and actually infuse them with caffeine. So that would be an option too. Because even if you bake with it and you think, oh well, it's going to evaporate, but if this evaporates, it's not going to take the caffeine with it. It's going to leave the caffeine in the material that you're baking, and then the water is going to vaporize off. So you could probably bake with it. It doesn't specifically mention baking with it, but I'm impressed. I definitely see myself ordering more. And if you guys are interested, let me switch over here to their website, which is just the letter in, 8.com. And we'll put it up here like that. So caffeine8.com. And this is their website. It's a pretty slick little deal. They have free shipping, if I remember correctly, on all of their orders. I believe it is I don't believe it's a currently just a promotion, the free shipping. Um if you want to pause and read some of the benefits, you can, or you can visit their website again up here at the top. It's caffeine8.com. We'll go ahead and go to their product page so you can see kind of the offerings they have. The one I bought was this one, the $16.99. It is marked free shipping on all orders in the description, so that seems to be their standard, which is amazing. It's always great to have free shipping. The other benefit, you can buy these in multi-packs if you're going, like, for example, for mine, I'll probably end up buying a 3-pack after this one. And it gives you a little bit of a discount here. So you have kind of an incentive, I guess, to buy in bulk. You can go as far as a 20-pack if you do that, or they have a subscription where they will discount it even further, looks like, to an extra 10% off. And they will send you a set number of bottles just periodically, however you like. So that's pretty fantastic. The other cool thing, when you go to checkout, there is a comments area where they ask you a question. I don't remember exactly the phrasing on it, and it probably won't because I don't have anything in my cart. Yeah. There's a comments area when you go to checkout. If you drop my name in that comments area, it'll help out the channel overall, and we certainly appreciate you letting them know where you heard about this from. They do sometimes have promotions where you can get a discount. I believe when I ordered mine, which it's been a few weeks now, you could use promotion code Facebook to receive, I think it was 10% off your order. I don't know if that's still active. You're welcome to give it a try and just try it out. See what you like. I mean, they've got a satisfaction guarantee. Free shipping is, again, always a wonderful thing, and bulk discounts if you buy more than one. So that's going to wrap it up for this product review. I hope it's been informative. I hope you've maybe learned about a new product that I know when I was searching for this, I didn't have a clue. I thought it'd be nice to be able to maybe add powdered caffeine to something, my tea or to my stuff, to avoid having to drink the artificial sweeteners or that sort of thing, or potentially give me a better calorie control on the things that I'm drinking. But turns out that powdered caffeine is not available to consumers. So this is a wonderful alternative. The taste, it really doesn't change the taste of things much. The biggest thing is just test it out and try it. And probably if you weren't doing the full half ounce like I was, if you're doing a quarter ounce just for a little bit of a caffeine boost, it'd have even less of an impact on the overall taste of whatever you happen to mix it with. So again, that website is Kaffn8, Kaffn 8.com. When you check out, let them know that Levi sent you, and we'll catch you next time in the next Unexpectedly Random product review. Till then, stay random.